About 2 years ago, I did a studio tour where I toured you around my recording studio here. And I also kind of showed you guys what my methodology was, how I recorded, how I kind of created my content and the gear that I use. And in that 2 years of time, a whole bunch of stuff has changed. So I thought it might be fun today to do an updated version. This is my studio tour for 2024. All right, guys, so we're going to start back here. And before I even say or do anything, I'm just going to warn you. My house is 100 years old, and I do have 3 different dogs. There is going to be dust in various places throughout this video. I'm sorry, I dust. The house is not dirty. It just is a dusty house. I'm sorry. It's kind of hard to know where to start, but I think I'm going to start over here with what I call the tech closet. And this was something that I actually put together, I think in the last year. It might have been 2024, it might have been 2023. We'll start down here at the bottom though. So what we have are a bunch of controllers and a bunch of like retro game systems, as well as my Quest 3 headset, my Steam Deck, and then a whole bunch of sort of extra PC parts, things I've upgraded away from in the last little bit of time. And eventually these will be turned into a new computer for someone in my family, more than likely to be gifted. All sorts of random things back there. A bunch of phones, right? So I keep my phone collection in here, Palm Pre, all of my Pixel phones. I have phones from Unihertz. I have Samsung phones. I have my Surface Duo and so forth. This is how I keep all that stuff organized. And then I have more retro handhelds and so forth here. Shout out to the PlayStation Vita, but that's where I keep all that stuff. Little controller here, which will let me actually change the color of the lights to different things, which you may have seen in various thumbnails. Some Google Home Minis that are not currently in use. And then we have over here a little OLED monitor and this old Logitech keyboard. And this is hooked up to this mini PC that I reviewed a while back. And it is right now just serving as a server for Valheim that me and some friends are playing. Up here we also have my Rokid AR headset, which I must admit I virtually never use. Some Surface products, some Android tablets. That is the Boox Air 3C Samsung Galaxy Tab, and then I have a little charging station that right now is where I'm keeping most of my folding phones, as well as just quickly charging, topping off whatever device I might need to charge at that moment. Up top we have some more portable monitors, some dual portable monitors, some Chromebooks, and then some more very old hardware. Shout out to the Guitar Hero / Rock Band gear that is mounted to the wall as well. I actually busted this stuff out for Halloween and had some people over and played Rock Band and pretended that we weren't all getting old. All kinds of various things organized into this area over here as well. On the wall outside the tech closet are my guitars. I pretty much only play the little Martin Mini right there, but there are some other ones here that are occasionally played as well. And then this is where I film my B-roll. Anytime you see this view and I'm showing you a phone or whatever, this is what's happening. We have this little mount, it points down, and that's where I film this stuff. Up here we have an on-brand television. I think this is either 50 or 55 inches right now, watching some NFL Live, hearing about Dennis Allen being fired. Sucks for him. Shelf with some random stuff on it. We have a 3D printer that I've been playing with, the Elegoo Neptune 4, I think is how you pronounce that, Elegoo. Some very old speakers, as well as a very old receiver, which is dusty. I also have this pretty cool sign that Google sent me a couple of years back that I do keep out as well. Back here we have all manner of other sort of tech things as well. These boxes in the back are boxes that Google actually used to send me Pixel things in. So you can see the one for the Pixel 9, that was the Pixel 8, that one was the Pixel 7, and then you can see some boxes and things like that as well. If we come down here, just, you can see what it is yourself. I keep some, some fun stuff over there as well. And then various earbuds, cases, things like that organized as best as I possibly can. When I was a kid and I played Yu-Gi-Oh, this was the deck that when I stopped playing, this was the deck that I had built, that I was proud of, that I was using, and it has come with me everywhere I have went, and it will continue to be with me. More Pixel boxes and things like that over here. Here's a little 3D printed microfiber towel holder that I made as well. I think at this point it's time to talk about the main course, which is my actual workstation. If I'm remembering correctly, we have a Ryzen 5800X in here. It's a Ryzen 7. We have my trusty NVIDIA GTX 1070 Ti. It's old, but it still works. There is my M.2 drive. It is a 500 gigabyte M.2 drive, and then I have a couple of other SSDs plugged in as well on the backside, and then 32 gigs of RAM, if I'm remembering correctly. I think those are two 16 gig sticks from Corsair. Down here on the desk, we have this little 3D printed thing that I made. It's actually really rough looking. It's before I got my printer dialed in, so it actually looks really bad, but it serves the purpose quite well. My Pixel Watch will magnetically grab onto that, and it charges, and it works really, really well. A couple of little trays that I made for organization. I also have this thing that I made for my original Pixel stand, and what this does is it allows my Pixel 9 Pro Fold to charge on this device. As you can see there, it raises it up so that that works, but it also can actually charge it while opened. You can actually find this on printables.com, but I did make a slight modification to it. That little bit there, I extended it so that it kind of held it a bit more flat. Without that, it kind of sat at like a weird angle down there, so I kind of modified it. Here is an Elgato Stream Deck, and what this allows me to do is quickly just sort of record things on my computer. It allows me to change through different presets, or scenes, I should say, through OBS. I'll show you how that works here in just a little bit. Some various flash drives, and then another tray with just some stuff in it. We've got the MX Master 3S, if I'm not mistaken, and then this is, I think, the 915, I think is the number for that one. And I am still using the same Sony a6100 to film. This is run through a, what is it, a Camlink 4K, and then that goes into OBS, which you can see right there. I almost forgot to mention the Elgato Wave 3, if I'm remembering correctly. That's what it's called. This is the microphone that I use. It's actually in a little shock mount as well to keep any sort of like desk noise from coming through. I really, really like this microphone. It has built-in noise cancellation software as well, which is great because, like I said, there are dogs. They're always running around and playing, and this does a great job of blocking a lot of that out. So I mentioned that I use OBS for my filming. I use that camera that I talked about, that Alpha 6100, and it runs directly into my computer. And how this works is, if I'm just normally filming my primary camera, it is set to a 6100. Here I am, my microphone is right there. It's all just recording straight onto my hard drive. You've probably seen, though, let me go grab just like a random page. You've probably seen where I have been talking about a news story, and I'm kind of doing this split screen thing. Well, I have that titled PIP, Picture in Picture. So I switch to that, and now you can see that. If I need to show you something that's on a phone, I hit this button and it changes to phone cap, and it has this little USB video thing, which is this very cheap $15 capture card, HDMI, USB-C on the other side. I plug the phone in question into it, and it will show up right there in that blank space. So pretty much everything you see me doing is basically done live with just a little cuts here and there. Really speeds up my process. And then when it's time to send that video that I just made over to my computer, this is how I do it. I do it wirelessly using CX File Explorer and Windows built-in network sharing capabilities. Here in just a couple of seconds, that bit of the stuff I just filmed will be on my computer and ready to be brought into the timeline. And then the video editor that I use is Wondershare Filmora. Now, I would not necessarily recommend that you start with Filmora now because they have unfortunately switched to a subscription service. But I was grandfathered in. I bought it outright, so I'm fine. It does what I need it to do, and it's very, very simple to use. And as you can see here, I'm filming part of this video right now, but a lot of the video is already edited, and that's because that's how I actually do things a lot of the time. I film a bit, then I edit it, then I film a bit, and then I edit that bit, and it helps me kind of just keep track of what I've said, what I need to say, and when I do that editing part, sometimes things will trigger in my head that I need to mention, or that maybe I messed something up, and I can quickly fix it right there in the same flow. Most people don't do things this way because most people are going to film things on a camera or on a phone, send the file to their computer, and then do their editing. Then they're going to get the phone or the camera back again. Because I do everything right here with my computer, I film directly onto my computer, it just changes the way that I go about things. So guys, I'm sure that as soon as I publish this, I'm going to think of like 6 other things. And I'm like, why didn't I mention that? I should have mentioned that. That's part of how I do things and that might be useful or interesting to people. But I can't just work on this all day. So I'm going to assume that I've gotten it close enough. If you have any questions about other things that maybe I use or how I go about things, feel free to drop a comment into the description down below, and I'll try to answer as many as I possibly can. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.